Hey everybody, welcome back to the LoFi podcast. I'm your host Frank, and you're listening to the best podcast on the internet because it's got Caleb.
It does got me, it's true.
It's got Rick.
It's also got me, yeah.
And we're going to be talking about Spiderman Homecoming today.
No, we're not. We're not talking about Spider-Man Homecoming.
That came out 2 years ago.
I wanted to see the look on Caleb's face.
I was like, oh yeah, wait.
No, we're going to watch Far From Home.
Far from
Far
home.
from home.
What do y'all think the third title is, right? We got Homecoming, Far From Home. What's the third one?
I think. Oh, Home Wrecked.
Oh!
Dude, I just
Dude,
hit that
yeah.
on the spot, dude. On the
That was
spot
amazing.
just came to my brain. Dude.
That's good, man. I'd probably go with Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah, what if just Peter just waiting for the Green Goblin to come in and he's got all these traps for him?
Spoilers.
Fuck, dude.
Speaking of, this is a
I would
spoiler
watch
review.
that Christmas fucking movie.
Right?
I'd watch Tom Holland be a fucking
Yeah,
Home
dude.
Alone kid. Just
By himself,
going up against
just
Green
you know,
Goblin. at
defending
his
himself
house.
against the Green Goblin.
Christmas movie. A Christmas
I mean, but-
special. 45 minutes. Come
45
on.
minutes.
But I mean, from what I know from Green Goblin, he has bombs.
Yeah.
So he just take the house down in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, true, but Spider-Man is Spider-Man. What if
Don't
he's got
break the
webs?
solution.
Yeah, what if he's got webs?
Yeah, he's got a little blade glider. Just
But you can't fly that in a house. This
That's
is a
what I'm
house.
saying. He doesn't even need to go in
You
the house.
have to walk
He
into
just
the
bombs
house.
the house.
Just okay, all
He
right.
doesn't need to go in.
You know what, Caleb? You just
This
ruined-
is why you don't write movies. This is why. Oh my God.
God damn it. Wow, we are off the rails on this one, man.
Sorry.
Calm down,
I'm sorry.
Caleb.
It's just
See what you
Far
did,
From
Frank?
Home is a good
Why are you
movie.
upsetting Caleb,
Oh,
Frank?
Far From Home is such
You
a
know
good
what,
movie.
let's make him feel better.
Okay.
Let's talk about
How
the
much did you like Far From Home,
Yeah,
Caleb?
I liked it. It was really
good, right?
It was
It's
enjoyable.
real good.
I had a good time.
I liked it.
I laughed.
It was
I
a
did
real
not
good
cry.
movie.
I laughed. I was like, oh, that's fun. And that's what happened.
Okay. Rick, what do you think, man?
I liked it. I loved it. I had one little tiff that
Oh,
we'll get
interesting.
you
into.
hated it.
That we'll get into. But yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. You will get into it because it's a spoiler review.
That's right.
Spoiler
That's right.
review.
So,
you didn't see the
Spoiler
title.
cast.
We're telling you now.
In case
Right.
you didn't read the description in
Or
the
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 description.
bottom.
For our
Title-
audio listeners,
Or the tag.
And for those of you watching us on Snapchat and didn't swipe up,
Those who clicked the Instagram link didn't read it. Spoilers, dog.
spoilers ahead,
Spoilers.
guys, in case we need to say it.
for homecoming.
For Homecoming.
For Homecoming.
For Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And not far from home.
Not Far From Home.
Just gotta think of all these different fucking ways to say the goddamn title. So you know, if you haven't seen it,
Homecoming.
Homecoming, go watch it. Come
Go
back,
watch it. Go
and then
on your app. Hey, boop, boop, 11:20. Boop, come
yeah,
back.
just Cinemark, man. Just fucking
And
just
then watch
get in
us
there.
on the ride home.
Yeah. Speaking of, real quick little sidebar. Coworker of mine named Jonathan shows me at my work. Right, he's got his fucking movie pass.
Uh-huh.
So this
What?
is not AMC.
Still has Movie Pass?
Yeah, he still has Movie Pass.
Okay.
And there's a message on there, like an announcement of like, hey guys, just so y'all know, we're going through some restructuring. All of Movie Pass services are going to stop on this date at this time until we resume some shit.
Damn.
So they're like shutting down Movie Pass for a little bit.
I'm surprised it took this
So like,
long.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a. I should have him screenshot and send it to me, but I was like, dude, that's just like.
It's about time.
It's like the death knell probably
It's about-
for,
yeah.
for Movie
I
Pass, I
canceled
think.
mine like a year ago, I think. Maybe.
I heard it was
more.
terrible, man. So.
No, dude, it was the best. When it was like, you saw.
Well, yeah, it started off really good.
Yeah.
But then they started like taking away all the good stuff.
Well, within half a year, yes. That's when they started taking away.
Yeah.
Like, you could only see a movie once. And then
Or
eventually.
only the ones we show you on here,
Yeah,
like
but
that kind of
before,
stuff.
once it got to that point, I'd already canceled it. But yeah,
Yeah.
for half a year, dude, saw as many movies as I wanted.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
the best.
But to reserve seats and stuff, you would have to go to the actual theater.
Reserve seating, yes, you have to go to the actual theater, and it wasn't as big as it is now. It's like, feel like anything now is reserve seating. But yeah, you could just go to the theater, which wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Because you still got to see as many movies as you want in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
month. So,
So Movie Pass, recommend or not recommend?
no, but
No.
2 years ago when it came out, total recommend. If you could go back in time,
If you can go
get-
back.
get it then. Get it then.
You know what I recommend to you guys?
Ah.
Far From Home. Getting that back on track here.
Full circle.
Getting us right back. Full circle.
Right back on track.
All right, man. So we got a pretty good idea of what the Marvel movie formula is by now.
Oh, are we talking about our conversation?
We're gonna talk about our conversation.
Okay, you wanna start?
You want to set it up? You set it up, man. So wait, so it's like what time was it? 9.
Man, it was like 9:15.
It's like 9:15 ish.
It had to be 9:15. And the sun was just on that right spot. I checked
Right.
my watch, my Apple Watch. It said 9:15.
I see Caleb outside. I'm pulling in. I'm like, yeah, I got time.
Yeah, I saw this beautiful looking gecko on the ground.
I love geckos. What the fuck?
Just ran right over it. No consideration.
I don't believe
He's
you.
like,
I did
got
not
this
run over a
big red
fucking
truck. We're in Texas, right? So he's got this big truck. It's like, me, honk, honk. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to do this and I mixed it. Honk, honk. Raised the roof.
I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah, I
Come on,
appreciate
come on.
it.
Work
I'm
with me,
sorry.
work with
Sorry. Anyway, so he's
Frankie,
coming in.
piece of shit.
He's like, dead, right? See
I
the
don't believe
skin of the lizard on
I
the
did
ground.
not kill any
You can
lizards.
See, it's a good foot of
No,
like
no
its
lizards
guts.
were harmed during the making of this.
Far from home, but in the making of this video, yes, this
Yeah.
morning he killed a lizard. So that's a true story.
Murder.
Anyways, going back.
Unbeknownst to me, I just pull up and I'm, what's up, Caleb? Like, what's going on, bro?
I'm hearing
the gecko
as he's coming.
dude.
Yeah. And Caleb just immediately fires
Yeah, I'm like, yo,
with
bro.
Spider-Man.
Yo, Spider-Man. We're gonna talk about it later today, and we're talking about it. And it was something I've been thinking about. So I saw it 3-4 days ago, right? So I've been thinking about it ever since, and I think, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Spider-Man: Far From Home doesn't feel like, and this is the best way I can explain it. It's gonna sound weird, but let me just vomit words.
Go through it.
in a
Go through
sense. It doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like another puzzle piece or another episode to a show, right? So if you think about the first 2 Spider-Man movies, I'm going to exclude the third one, they feel like whole movies. They have a beginning, middle, and end,
Right.
and it feels like it's a whole, like maybe also because it's, it's more production value to that. Here, most MCU movies are CG, but I feel like it's like I know the formula of Marvel, or I know what I'm getting into. I know I'm gonna laugh. I know I'm gonna see some cool scenes, and I'll leave being happy. And I got all those things, and I feel like I get that every time. Besides, I'm gonna say Endgame, right? I loved Endgame and Infinity War. Those are great, Marvel movies. But as far as like going back on Marvel movies, I don't need to or want to a lot of times, unless I'm like, hey, let's do a marathon, right? But I mean, it just feels like it's a lot of the sameness. It's a lot of like, okay, yeah, like there's a cool scene, here's a cool scene, blah, blah, but it doesn't feel like, I'm not satisfied. I'm not, maybe not satisfied, but like, it feels like there's no substance. Not saying like there's nothing wrong with I know it's a blockbuster movie, right? It's not supposed to make you think, but I'm just not feeling satisfied.
Not
Holy
feeling
says.
it.
Yeah, and not to say I don't like the movie. I like the movie a lot, but it's just something I've been thinking about for the past couple of days. Maybe it's the season I'm in. I don't know. But it's just what I've been thinking about. It doesn't feel like a movie. It just feels like, oh, here's another thing happens, and now we're moving on.
I have a theory about that. I just don't
Okay.
know if Rick wants to say anything first before.
I'd like to hear you.
Okay. So I think that a lot of these movies are in between the arcs, right? We have something that starts and then something that ends at the end of it. And I feel like after something like Endgame, the last thing you want is another super serious, plot heavy, like just end of the world, like they're all gonna, we're all gonna die, like plot. Whereas I think, yeah, all the movies are a little bit lighthearted or whatever, right? There's little, you can have fun, right? There's fun stuff happening. You come to this movie to have fun. So obviously that stuff's going to be there. I think like maybe what it is like these movies now, like say Spider-Man and whatever else is coming out before the next major like Avengers or whatever the next, like, because you think about it, the large arcs in most of the last few like Marvel cinematic like timelines or whatever was like Avengers movie, all these movies, Avengers movie, all these movies, Avengers movie. You know what I mean? And that maybe makes something like Spider-Man feel a little more like fluff, maybe like filler, maybe because it didn't necessarily push forward say the main plot of what's going to happen later on. Like maybe to you, that's why it felt like you weren't as satisfied because they didn't say, hey, yeah, this is what's going to be happening in the next,
Even though something happens at the end for Spider-Man, right?
For sure.
You didn't
I think
feel
even something like that still I
But
mean,
the whole time, I'm just like, yeah, this is a good movie, but I don't feel
yeah.
wholly satisfied in a sense.
And I think maybe that's why. Maybe it's because you were looking for like the next big thing, and it didn't really have that. It was more like, hey, we're just telling a Spider-Man story in this movie. Which, granted, it's a Spider-Man movie, you know what I mean? But we know it's tied to something bigger, right? We know it's tied to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And there's eventually it's all going to lead towards something.
Yeah.
So, and I think maybe that's why you're maybe feeling that way because
That's fair.
it doesn't at least project in toward any necessary obvious plot or something like that. Like maybe. I don't know. That's my theory about that.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Does that make any sense from saying?
It does. Like, because we're not getting that whole the next big bad or whatever, it does kind of feel like a little filler. And the movie... Okay, so here's my tiff with the movie.
Okay. And again, we don't hate the movie.
Yeah.
I just...
I like the movie.
It's just
Overall,
an overall...
I like the movie.
Yeah, it's just an overall thing that I...
My tiff was I didn't like the whole... I didn't feel any romance between MJ and Peter. Really.
That's fair. It's more said than
yes. It's more of like we're supposed to take it that he just loves her, but I don't see why he loves her.
Yeah.
We don't see why he cares.
Does he say love?
Well, cares.
Well, he cares.
Cares or like, right?
Well,
like
that's the thing,
crush,
right? And I think there's a huge difference between care and like, because I'm sorry, like care and like love, right, or whatever, because you think like. What are you willing to do for someone you fucking love?
So I
someone
threw the
like?
word love only because MJ and Peter Parker are,
Well, yeah, it's
history.
the beginning of a possible relationship, right? I mean,
I know they've said that that's not comic book MJ. This is different MJ.
Yeah.
This is MCU MJ.
Yeah, this is MCU MJ.
Yeah.
Which why color MJ at all? Just give her different name.
They were just trying to pay. It's the only way you can do it without getting everyone pissed.
Yeah. Or making up some random character.
I mean, they could have. Why not?
It's the
Why
best
not make a new character?
Because then everyone's gonna complain. Where the fuck's MJ?
Or Gwen.
Or Gwen.
I mean, they can still bring
Those are
them out,
Spider-Man's main love interest. Why would you give him a brand new love interest?
But the thing is, if you're gonna give them a love interest and have it be someone from the comics, like that person in the comics already has a very established look, style, career.
Well, then you take Spider-Man's love interests, right? You have Mary Jane, who they've done. You've got Gwen, who they've done, but one who hasn't really been done that was loosely, Black Cat.
I think, but the thing about these Spider-Man movies is that they're an update, which I kind of like. It's an update on Spider-Man, so it's like Spider-Man in our times. So Flash Thompson isn't a physical bully; he's a words bully. He's a a cyberbully in a sense. Like they're all updated characters, right? So I like that aspect of it. Everyone's very diverse. Obviously, because New York, right? It makes sense. But yeah, I think it's just because it's an updated Spider-Man and his tech is really techy, which I'm okay with because it's an updated Spider-Man, right? And this Spider-Man has spawned off of Iron Man, so he's gonna have all these toys to play with, which I'm totally cool with, and I think that's why it's their own thing. It's like, hey, there's a new iteration of Spider-Man.
So I think, and going back to what we were talking about, the whole. I think this is something that they were trying to put in there. Is it's like the whole who's going to be the next Iron Man, right? Is who's going to be the next, since Iron Man's dead. Who's going to be the next person who's going to be leading the whole Marvel universe? And I guess they're trying to say, is it going to be Spider-Man? And it's like, oh, it's nobody. You gotta just. No one's gonna be the next fucking Iron Man. Dude. No one can replace Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would think that's the way. That's the real answer.
But I feel like this is almost the MCU trying to tell the audience that.
Okay, I got you.
Like, hey,
but don't you think there was maybe a little wink or a nod, like when him and Happy are on the ship flying and Spider-Man's building his suit?
Yeah.
And then so they show him like all like building the stuff, and he Happy looks back and kind of like smiles or whatever. Yeah, looks happy. But like kind of like, oh, that reminds me of Tony or something. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was like, okay, but no one's gonna replace actual
yeah.
Iron Man.
I don't think they will. I think like I agree with you. I don't think they will. I think they'll just be their own entities. But yeah, so that's what I like. That's what I thought about.
Do you think that that's the message that they were trying to get across? Like trying to tell the audience, hey, we're not going to do a next, Robert Downey Jr. That they might slow things down.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they haven't really announced any other big phases,
I think that's
right?
coming.
They haven't.
I think that's coming at San
for sure.
Diego. I think they're going to do it there. So I think that's another thing too. Is I'm interested to see where this is all going.
Oh God, dude, just give me Doom.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, I think I was just trying to say is like, they just feel, and it's such a like negative context. They feel formulaic. Like I know what's going to happen, or like, they're not serious in the sense of like it doesn't have to be, but I feel like I'm never worried because I know they're going to make a joke in the next 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm never on the edge of my seat because I'm like, oh, they're going to make a joke about this in 2 minutes, right? Even when Spider-Man's at his lowest, which was cool to see. I liked that whole sequence of him being really sad and he was happy, he was crying. I liked that scene, but everything else I was never worried because like, okay, there's going to be another joke here, and just there's never. I don't know if I need serious movies, but I just feel like nothing's taken seriously. I'm just like, oh, whatever. That's how I feel.
I think you feel like there needs to be more weight or something, right? To like the things happening, the decisions being made, and stuff like that.
Not everyone has to die, but but in this sense, more weight, more like this is serious type of thing. Type thing. But anyways, the movie. It's pretty cool, though.
It was fantastic.
It's good.
It's great.
It's still a good movie. I like it. I like the whole traveling to different places.
I was going to say, what did you think about Mysterio?
I liked Mysterio. He was cool. He was really cool. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I knew he was going to turn.
Yeah.
I just saw it coming.
If you know anything
Mysterio,
about Mysterio,
you know he's turning. So,
he's
when he does that turn of the bar, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like how he...
I love how they did it, dude.
I like how they did it.
It's a whole fucking team.
Yeah, I like that,
so
too.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. I liked how they updated, going on the updating Mysterio.
Yes.
Doing projections.
Yes.
I like that.
For illusions and everything.
I like that idea.
And I feel like when I saw Spider-Man falling for shit, I feel like I would have too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was so hard to tell what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
without meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, without metaing the story, because we already know.
Yeah.
Spider-Man kind of, was taking those chances because he's a good dude.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
He's gullible a little bit, whatever.
Well, Mysterio.
So I love that scene where he follows Mysterio into that building and Mysterio's doing that whole like dream sequence or whatever. I was like straight out of an Arkham game. I loved it, dude. I loved it. Yeah. I was like, it's
dude,
so
that
cool.
fake out when he was like, and you hear the shot and he just falls, and then that was the fake out. I was like, oh god, so fucking good.
Yeah. And then he does it again at the end. I thought that was good.
Fucking zombie Iron Man, dude.
Oh yeah.
That was great. I'm glad fucking Disney did that shit. I wouldn't think that they would push that button, but that's fucking great. I love that they did
Well,
that.
you got like Pirates of the Caribbean, right? It's just walking skeleton
this
dudes
is
or
like
whatever.
a Spider-Man fucking movie, and then you're putting a zombie in there. It was a good fucking Tony Stark zombie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So
It was a
Mysterio
little
was
scary.
super cool.
Yeah.
Mysterio is super cool. I don't know. What did you think?
I mean, I enjoyed like his the flip, right? Like of him being this super cool, caring guy, and then just like laughing, just like get this fucking suit off me, you know? This fucking idiot over here.
Yeah.
Like just the change in character.
Yeah.
You know, but you see he's focused. He has a goal and everything. You're like, oh, dude, like he's got a goal in mind. And
It was almost like if Tony Stark were kind of like a bad guy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of that's exactly how it struck me.
So it was almost like if Peter Parker was going up against a evil Iron Man.
Yeah. That's exactly what that kind of reminded me of.
Becoming the next Iron Man.
Yeah, especially with someone having the drones and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like having all this like weaponry at his disposal or whatever.
Oh, I mean the whole what was the name of the
Edith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it was. So I mean I thought it was great, man. A lot of that stuff. The hologram sequences. I'm gonna be honest. Like when he was talking about like, oh yeah, I'm from Earth, whatever fucking number. I believed him. I was like,
I didn't
oh
believe
man,
it.
they're
I
gonna do
was
the
like,
multiverse. I ate it, man. I was like, what? They can do the multiverse?
And that was another thing. You think that whole, people will believe anything. The whole fake news thing. You think they were pushing that a little bit too hard?
There was like a message.
I didn't think about it.
No?
No, not until you said it.
Because he's like, he kept on about it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
People will believe
for sure.
anything. People will believe anything we tell them.
Yeah.
You know?
I bet there was. Or, I mean,
Yeah.
they got to think about, like, what's motivating him, what's driving him or something, and maybe to him it's that just people will believe anything they hear,
Yeah.
And that's his whole thing is
Like
being
a warning,
Mysterio.
right? It's supposed to be kind of like a warning, like not to just trust anything you fucking see or whatever, because he's all illusions.
But the whole reason I did believe him at first, especially because I thought, like, okay, so this is like a good Mysterio. Maybe the bad Mysterio will come out of some other
So you thought
dimension.
they were gonna double fucking cross? Like
Well, I thought we either get an evil Mysterio coming out of some other dimension,
Or that this
this one
Mysterio-
turns bad
Yeah,
or
okay.
whatever, but not knowing he was bad the entire time, basically. Because obviously Mysterio bad guy, right? They haven't announced any other bad guy. You only see the Elementals, but I was like,
yeah,
well,
since the Elementals, I was like, those aren't real villains.
yeah, that's
So I was
not
like,
that's
this
not
is-
what this whole movie is going to be about. Is
C-tier
Elementals.
fucking-
If this movie was about them trying to stop Elementals, I would have been pissed.
That's why I was like, I knew, like, for the trailer, I was like, oh, it could go either way. But then once the movie started, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not a real
Especially
villain.
because he was like, he took out 3. It was like, nah.
Yeah, same.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of saw it coming. But yeah, he was super cool. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I love that he's just in a fucking mocap suit.
Yeah, that's
Like
super
the
cool
whole
too.
time.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
He
Yeah.
never, with a fucking.
I love that he still
little
has the bubble-
helmet.
the bubble
Yeah,
helmet.
Just the bubble helmet in a fucking mocap suit. So fucking good.
Yeah,
man.
that's awesome.
They did it so well. I mean, I thought it was really clever.
Yeah. And the class was super cool. The classmates were funny. His friend falling in love with the other
With
girl.
that one girl for
Yeah.
like the vacation or
They
whatever.
fucking are done by the end of it.
Yeah. So that was a good little bit. What else?
Let's talk about the Nick Fury stuff, man.
Okay, I don't think that's a thing.
What do you mean?
So I know, like at the end, it shows us a scroll.
Yeah.
And
The scroll was
it's the guy.
The scroll was male and what was his wife,
I think it was his wife. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're
so.
and they're impersonating
I love that they brought him back. Man.
they're impersonating Fury and Hill,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But for what purpose? Because he's busy doing other shit. Like
Well,
it doesn't look like he's busy.
I
but-
personally think it was just for the gag.
I think this is how he rebuilds Shield. With using them as because in comics, anytime Fury fucking dies, it's like it's a decoy or some shit, right?
Yeah.
So now the way they can do that is it's just a scroll. It's one of Fury's scrolls.
Well, I thought it was.
Those are his agents.
it was
Now
definitely-
that makes Shield like mega fucking scary because now he's got shapeshifters at his disposal.
True. Because Nick Fury in comics especially is known for being especially elusive and shit like that. You never know when you were dealing with the actual Nick Fury, just because, and not necessarily because he was a Skrull. Then I mean, they didn't necessarily take that route in comics, but Nick Fury was known for his extreme secrecy and shit like that. Like he could be anywhere all the fucking time, or he would just go underground and fucking disappear forever because he's been working on all these
Yeah, I mean, he's the
secret
ultimate
projects and
fucking
shit.
spy.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate fucking spy or whatever. So I think this is cool where maybe it lends to that lore a little bit. Like, oh, okay, this is how Nick Fury can be in all these different locations at the same
Yeah.
time or something. You know,
Because
what I mean?
anytime they put Samuel Jackson in there and they can be like, oh, well, that doesn't go with the timeline. It's like, no, well, that could just be a scroll
Yeah.
following Nick Fury's orders.
Timeline.
Yeah, like if any movies, whatever, you can put Nick Fury wherever the fuck you want. And how can he be over here and then how can he be on this planet?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like we're going back in time, and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, because one of our friends brought up a point. He was like, "Oh, well, like I heard that it means like, well, that this time Nick Fury changed, and so there's 3 Nick Furies at once." And I'm like, "No. Y'all are looking way too much into it. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's just it was a simple gag, and it could also lead to the lore of like he could be anywhere now.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of more of a simple thing than more of a like, what's this major thing that's being revealed?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. I just think it was mainly for whatever, because he's like, something's messed up, but I have it under control. Like, just kind of for a
Yeah.
fun thing. That's what I personally think it was for.
So, Okay. Mysterio says that the multiverse is real. Everyone acts like, yeah, we've known that forever.
No, I think they were like, oh, okay.
Well, Peter Parker was the only one who was like, well, fucking multiverse is real? And the Skrulls were kind of who were portraying fucking Nick Fury and the Hill were like acting like nonchalant. Like, yeah, like, that's a fucking normal thing, right?
What if that was a hologram during that time?
No, but I think they're.
What I'm
I
trying to
think
say
he
is,
probably already told them.
Is the multiverse real, or is that something Mysterio just threw out of his ass
I
just
think
to
it's
try and?
the latter.
Okay.
I think it's the latter. Unless they would have expanded on it, like factually, because otherwise it's just
Well,
like,
I mean,
it's just his word.
they explain the multiverse a tad, right? They touch on it.
Kind of, but through Mysterio.
Uh huh.
So that's why,
But,
it's
like-
never like a factual thing.
But they use that. But they could use that as a tool to teach the audience that that's what the multiverse is.
Yeah, but I feel like if they were to do that, I feel like they should have done it a better way.
So
like, hey, this is an actual thing.
So the next movie, whether it be, so let's say, the reason I bring up the multiverse is because it connects a lot with Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
It is the easiest and probably most logical way to bring in the Fantastic Four is to bring them in from another Earth, from another dimension, or the multiverse.
Yeah.
But if Mysterio's just talking out of his ass and the multiverse doesn't exist, then, that kind of throws that out the window.
Yeah,
But
I would like a multiverse, but I think it's the latter. Because even he has a script guy who who made up the whole story
Right.
of the people from his other planet and these creatures coming from other planets.
But if
from
the
his whole
Skrulls
planet.
are also acknowledging that the multiverse is real,
I think they believed what he said.
because they're like aliens.
Yeah, but I think they believed what he said. That's the thing. And
That's true.
that universe is a big universe.
Yeah.
That Captain Marvel just chills and just flies through and like, oh, look, Tony Stark, I'll take you to Earth. Well, the dumbest part of Endgame is the very beginning. I hate you, Captain Marvel.
Hey, speaking of, I read that the petition online finally reached its goal.
What? For what?
Of like trying to get Brie Larson kicked off playing Captain Marvel.
What the fuck?
Yes.
What was the goal?
I didn't look. I just saw the headline. I was like, wow. I just looked at it. I was like,
What the
wow,
fuck?
really?
I didn't know she was getting that much hate.
I didn't know either.
I don't hate her that
I don't
much.
know.
I didn't think she was that mad.
I mean, the character's dumb, but I don't
the
hate
character
her.
was a little dry, yeah, but I don't.
But that's her
think
humor. I think that's just Brie Larson's humor.
I think it was just the writing.
real, like,
I don't think that
deadpan.
was Bree's.
I think she was stuck in a room too long.
That's a good one though.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good
I'll
one.
watch her in that any day. But you know what else I'll watch?
What else
In
we
a
watch?
room,
In a room?
Far From Home. Actually, if you're, I don't want to. Never mind. I don't want to go off Far From Home. Never mind. I was gonna say, if you, what Marvel movies do you rewatch? Like you like.
Okay,
wanna
so
go
I
back
had
to
I had
rewatch?
something to say that because you talked about right now about rewatchable Marvel movies, and I think the ones that are rewatchable are going to be the ones like this, like Spider-Man, like Thor Ragnarok, like the fun ones that didn't have the hugest, highest stakes because you're just rewatching it to have fun, right? You're not like I don't go back and watch the fucking Avengers movies over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I watched this not Endgame, Infinity War a lot
Ultron.
just because.
You watch Ultron a lot?
No.
Yeah,
heard that's
I
your
need
favorite.
to rewatch Ultron.
No, my favorite?
Still.
Yeah, I heard your favorite's Ultron.
No.
Right behind Thor 2.
I heard the same.
I'm joking with
No.
him, dude.
No.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Yes.
Don't believe
Which
everything
ones
you
do you
hear,
rewatch,
Frank.
though?
I like watching Guardians of the Galaxies. I like the Spider-Mans. And I like Thor Ragnarok. Those are the I think the
all
three
Your
all
main
the comedies.
3.
kind of.
Those are
Yeah.
the big comedies, I guess. What about you?
Fuck, man, I haven't really watched any. But if I were to start rewatching,
See,
I
see what
probably
I mean?
would start with Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I did want to go back to Winter Soldier. It had been a
I
while.
watched Winter Soldier a lot
It's really good.
because that was like the best one for a while. Thor Ragnarok, I've seen a lot because I love that one a lot.
That was pretty
Guardians. Oh, and Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is good. I like
Yeah.
Doctor
Because I like
definitely
the
watch Doctor Strange.
visuals. And it's,
Yeah.
I think I just like that one a lot. Those are the 4 main ones I'll go back to watch. Civil War, I've seen a couple times since
Civil War's good.
because I love that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think
For sure.
it gets enough credit. I think it's better than Winter Soldier. So good.
Damn.
So good.
Damn.
Rank all your Marvel movies.
1 through 25 now.
Yeah, do it right now. I mean, off the top of
Now.
my head. 25, Captain Marvel.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll definitely rank this as one of my favorite new Spider-Man
Spider-Mans.
movies.
Where are you gonna rank your Spider-Mans?
There we go.
Give me your top 3.
Damn. I think I'm gonna rank them in the order 3, 2, 1, man. I think that's the way.
What's 3, 2, 1?
Far From Home, Homecoming. Oh, I'm thinking of Civil War because it was kind of a
Kind of an origin.
So what? We only got 2 Spider-Man movies in?
No, but I'm saying all Spider-Mans. I'm talking about Tobey Maguire's,
all of the Spider-Man.
the Andrew Garfields, which are the best ones
Oh
in my
God,
opinion.
those are the last ones.
Spider-Verse.
Ooh, Spider-Verse.
I'd like to cheat.
We're gonna put Spider-Verse in there.
Oh man, all I'm saying is Toby's my favorite.
I'm gonna say MCU Spider-Man's Spider-Verse, then the Tobey Maguire's with 3 being at the end, and then Andrew Garfield's fucking stupid ones.
I would have the same list. Yeah. Did you say Spider-Verse at top number 1?
I put it right after these.
Oh, I'm gonna switch that. Spider-Verse is my
Spider-Verse for
number
you.
1.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Then I think I put Homecoming, then Far From Home, because I think Homecoming has just a nice little
Yeah.
clean
Start.
story.
Yeah.
Nice little story. Then it's
Jesus Christ.
2, 1, 3 Tobey Maguire. 1, 2
Yes.
Andrew
Yes.
Garfield.
2, 1, 3. Yes.
2, 1, 3, and then 1, 2 Garfield. Even though I never saw
Whatever.
2.
I'll just jumble. I
Yeah.
never saw any. Dude, I stopped watching the first
The
one.
first
That's
one
how
was
bad it was for me.
dude,
I was like,
I
I don't.
finished it. I was like, this movie's
It's not my
so bad.
Spider-Man. I'm turning this shit off.
I guess it's best to rank them by.
So what about you? Go ahead.
I agree with you. The 2, 1, 3
For the old for
Oh,
Tobey
but is that your
Maguire's?
top?
for Toby. Well, I'm saying for
for that order.
for the different tiers of Spider-Mans.
What's your top one?
I mean,
Okay.
Tom did really fucking great,
Dude, you gotta say it.
but I love Toby, dude.
What
Toby's
about?
fucking great. His
But-
Peter Parker was fucking on that shit.
I'm down
so
with that soon.
fucking great.
I want to watch it again.
I have the Blu-rays extended cuts.
Speaking of Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man,
He died.
Yes, he did.
Hmm?
But J. Jonah Jameson didn't.
Oh, yeah,
that's
so
right,
cool.
bro.
Yeah,
That fucking reveal, man.
That was so good.
that was
dude.
cool.
I
You know,
I was
the theater that I was in all fucking clapped and was like getting rowdy and shit.
yeah.
I love
I
the
think
update.
mine people were like definitely audibly like oh or whatever, you know.
People were throwing up in my theater. I was so
Just a
excited.
lot of babies in there. I thought that was fantastic. I think people are gonna now try to be like,
Insane.
oh, so they're the same universe.
Yeah, I hate those people. I hate you
They're
if you
the
do that.
same universe.
If you do that, I hate
Did
you.
you know the Little Mermaid took place as Frozen? It's the same movie, the same
Shut up!
timeline.
It was
Shut
Tarzan,
up!
you fuck.
Oh, was it
That
Tarzan?
theory, yeah.
What? It's
No,
it's all-
they said Frozen Little Mermaid because they said her parents
No.
were in a ship that fucking that
It's
shipwrecked.
Tarzan. It's
Okay,
the
okay,
brothers,
I
it's
didn't know. Whatever.
Tangled. It's all.
It's all the same movie.
It's all the same universe. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I did kind of miss him with the flat top though. I was like, oh man,
Well, but I
I
like
want
the
that J. Jonah
update
Jameson.
because it's like a
Because he's, like, older now,
political-
right?
But it's like a political
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. I
Yeah.
love it. I love the update.
Yeah, so
of
I
it.
did like that or whatever.
And
That was
then-
pretty cool.
Right after Mysterio
Drops the fucking bomb.
drops the bomb. Do you think he's still alive?
No.
Or yeah, was that the last message, or do you think?
Yeah, I think that was just his attempt to like keep his
because the
name.
computer
his name
said
good.
he was dead.
Yeah,
So I assume he's
I'm pretty sure he's
Dead.
dead.
I think dead.
yeah. Because I don't know how he would trick a computer. Because the computer could see through a hologram, right? So I don't think.
I think he's dead. I don't think he's alive. But not talking about his death. I do like the way they made like himself kill himself. Like he killed himself by disregarding the safety measures instead of Spider-Man killing him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that too because it's not like Spider-Man's there trying to kill him anyway, you know.
Right.
Try to stop
It's the same way with Vulture, right? He didn't really try to kill him. you know, he was just going all. Was it like the
also Green
jetpacks was too
Goblin.
much?
All he did was jump. And
That's
Tell
true.
Harry.
I was gonna say.
Oh
I was gonna say it.
Don't tell Harry. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
And then he told him. Nah,
Yeah.
He didn't.
It's his face.
He was like,
Told your dad.
yes. So then Mysterio's like, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And it ends. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
See, and
I'm
this is
interested.
another where to bring back the comics, right? Where I remember vividly there was this part where Peter Parker is scared. It was during, I believe, Civil War, right? Where he was scared to come out and reveal who he was because.
Yes, that's technically the only time he's done it, right? It's just
Yes.
the Civil War.
In
Yeah.
the Civil War.
But it was a Fantastic Four that really helped him get through that. They were
Yeah.
telling him how they had been living in the spotlight
Yeah.
like forever.
Yeah.
You know, and all that shit. But hopefully that's another tie to Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, and Sarah was telling me, she was like, well, what's the difference between Spider-Man hiding his identity and the rest of the Avengers? Like, they don't have their identity. I was like, yeah, it's true, but a lot of them
Spider-Man's
are
poor.
off. Yeah, they're off-world, and they have their whole little safe base that they just stay at the whole time because they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's like can live,
He's
he can
a
have a normal
kid
life.
going to fucking
And that was
school.
his whole thing. It was
He's
like
the neighborhood Spider-Man.
that was his whole thing throughout this whole movie. He's like, I just want to have a normal life, which was so cool. I was like,
Yeah.
it's totally a kid thing.
Yeah, I like that it was opposite of the last one, whereas like he
Where
did
he
want to
really
grow
wanted
up,
to
he
be-
wanted to go fight, and
Yeah.
you know,
That's
and
when he
now
just-
like
You
dude,
killed my uncle.
he went, you know, now he went through fucking Endgame and everything. Now he's like, dude, I just want to live a normal life.
Yeah, I
you
just
know?
want to like a girl. I just want to hang out with my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
And I thought that was a really
I
cool
didn't
concept.
fall for that, man.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
fall
yeah,
for
I
it.
agree. I didn't fall for it either.
Like, if they would have made us all care for her or, like, care for that
Or
relationship.
make her less of an oddball.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
I see
like
that.
I get that she's an oddball, yes, but you don't have
But
to
they
make her.
didn't even make her.
such
They
an
didn't make
oddball.
her fucking cute oddball.
Yeah,
Because they did her as an oddball that's just a fucking oddball. But they didn't do it in a way where, like, when you do that, it's because it's in a cute way. And
Yeah.
that's what makes you fall for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
They
a lot
just
of
made
people
her
hang from this bridge. Okay, that every conversation.
Yeah.
This is what they did to kill people.
Like,
Okay,
they wanted
cool.
to make her more big.
Like nothing.
but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
came off as her just being dumb. Like
or like kind of like a douche.
yeah, that's what I meant.
She's kind of a douche. Yeah, and it's like,
Edgelordy, maybe.
huh?
Edgelord E.
Who's that?
Edgelord? You know what an edgelord
Is
is?
that a Twitch account?
It's someone's Twitch account. No, edgelord is someone who's like trying hard to be cool.
Yeah, yeah. Just lessen it a little bit. So,
You think we get a Gwen Stacy in the next Spider-Man?
I don't think
No,
so.
because it should
We-
be all about
we
his
have MJ.
dilemma with his identity crisis.
Right?
Sure.
And then the next one, he'll get clones, and it'll be like the clone saga.
Alright,
He'll be like, what?
So, predictions. Who do you think is going to be the next Spider-Man villain?
Sinister Six. You have Vulture, Scorpion, Mysterio, and you'll have Rhino and another
Mysterio's
person.
dead.
Is he though?
They haven't really done because obviously they're trying to stay away from the ones that have already been done. I feel like, fuck, I mean, they already did Shocker, they did Rhino, they did Vulture,
You think they
Doc
give Carnage?
Ock. Oh, that'd be cool.
With Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson. Carnage?
There will be.
Dude, he
Carnage.
looks so fucking good though.
Yeah.
I would love this.
I hated that movie.
Yeah, that movie was
I
fucking
hated that movie.
shit.
Should have been just that. That's what I would be like. Just make an Alien movie. Don't make a Venom movie.
Yeah.
But they need the name brand to get butts
Yeah.
and seats.
Yeah.
It
I don't
was
know, man.
dude, he didn't even have a logo.
It's nothing.
It was a Venom movie without Spider-Man.
Boo.
Like, no, when I say that, I mean Spider-Man does not exist in that world.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? How can you make that movie?
That's Sony, Rick.
Ask them.
You don't.
They're right there.
You know, we're gonna ask MCU though.
Don't.
When you make it the next fucking timeline, or what are they called? The
Phases.
phases. I want to know the next phases.
Phase 4? Right.
Phase 4.
Phase 4? Is that
From
phase 4?
Fantastic Four.
Oh.
It would be perfect!
All I know is that the earthquake mention in Endgame definitely probably alludes to
Namor?
Namor, which also
I
tied
would
to
love that.
Fantastic Four.
Should
Namor would
be
be
maybe.
Jason Aquaman.
Who would be Namor, dude?
Jason Aquaman.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they
I'll
should
have
make
to
an
think about that
edgy
one.
choice.
Jason Statham.
Do Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark
Jude
as
Law
Namor.
would have been a good Namor. Yeah. Right?
Colin Farrell.
Right?
Jude Law as Namor.
He would have been a fucking good
fucking
Namor.
Great, dude. Are we? Is anyone paying attention to these ideas? Dude, Jude Law's Namor is just fucking mind blowing. Hell yeah, dude. Put some fucking wingy shoes on.
Now
his
we start our own
wingy
petition.
ankles.
All right?
Hell yeah, dude.
If Brie Larson can get a petition. Fucking
Jude
from
Law.
the
We should do a
goddamn
good
movie.
petition. Make Jude Law Namor.
Yeah. Make Jude Law Namor. Hashtag.
But I feel like we'll be talking about this in a couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they're gonna announce a phase 4 at Comic Con, and I think we'll be.
That would be that. Yeah,
That'll
that'll
be
be
a fun
awesome.
podcast.
That'll be
to talk
cool.
about.
We'll definitely cover
I
that
hope it's
stuff.
not a lot of 2s. Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Guardians 3.
I'm sure there's gonna be.
They got to, right? They got to expand the characters before they also show what they end up doing and stuff.
You ready
They
for
got to
that
expand the
Captain Marvel
characters,
2?
Caleb.
Closer
Why'd
to
they cut her
home?
hair?
Closer to home.
Why did they cut her hair? It didn't do anything.
Yeah. No.
Hey, I got a haircut. Okay. Nothing. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't change anything. It's just a thing that happens.
It's just a face.
Is
I don't
It's a
understand.
face,
I'm
Caleb.
just remembering that comic that.
I don't.
Okay, we're short
Oh,
hair.
God.
You got some for me, Peter?
I'm gonna show it to Caleb later.
You know what I thought of? Also, when in Spider-Man: Far From Home,
Yeah.
when he goes and sees that Russian lady, I was like, are they doing this on purpose now? Like,
Russian lady.
cause she's like, take off your clothes, cause she's trying to put him
Oh
on the
yeah,
suit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, is this another one waiting to happen? But yeah,
All right,
that's
man.
Far From Home.
That's Far From Home, guys.
Homecoming.
It was great. It gets a thumbs up from me. It gets
That's all I'll give it. I'll give
It
it a
gets
thumbs up.
2 of these from me.
two web
Two
web
web
goes.
shooters.
Two
Okay.
go web goes.
I'll give you one go web go.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, she brings it down to a 1 web go.
Yeah. Who she Zendaya?
Yes.
Nice.
You know who brings up
I'm
two
with
web
you.
Well,
goes?
I meant like that whole thing. That
Yeah, I
whole-
know.
Me not feeling their fucking love brings it down to a 1.
Okay, but Jake Gyllenhaal,
Bring
Fuck, Jake Gyllenhaal. So
go web go.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
But then Zendaya.
All right, guys, and on that note, we're going to go ahead and cut it off. Thanks for tuning in and checking out our
Yeah.
reviews and impressions on everything we do. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Boy.
Yeah.
And we're fuck. We don't.
We're fuck.
We're
That's what we do, motherfuckers. We fuck.
Oh,
I don't want to cut that out.
Fuck.
keep it. Keep it.
Keep it.
Keep it.
Because we fuck.